He stumbled through the street, escaping the biting cold. His shoes, tattered beyond repair, dragged on the marble floor. His eyes, hollow with hunger, scanned the room. The millionaire, leaning against his Ferrari, smirked and tossed out a challenge. "Start it and it's yours." The crowd waited, eager to see the beggar fail. But when the engine roared to life, the laughter vanished, replaced by an uncomfortable silence and the millionaire's dawning regret. Before we get into this, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. And let us know in the comments where you're tuning in from. Now let's continue. "You don't belong here," the words cut through the room like ice. The laughter that followed was sharp, cruel, echoing off the glass walls and shining floors. Guests in tuxedos and glittering gowns turned in unison, their faces twisted in disdain. An old man, a forgotten soul, had walked into a world of wealth and luxury. His face was worn by years of hardship, his gray beard unkempt. His jacket, torn at the sleeves, his shirt stained yellow with age, and his shoes barely intact. He held a small cloth bag, clutching it like it was the last thing he had in the world. "Security's asleep," muttered one guest in a bow tie, his friends snickering. A woman in a red dress whispered behind her hand, "Why don't they toss him out already? He's ruining the vibe," holding that rag like it's treasure. A man nearby chuckled, "Maybe he's here to sell it for a loaf of bread." The old man didn't respond. He didn't leave either. He had wandered in, drawn by the warmth, the lights, the music, hoping for a glimpse of humanity. But what he found was something colder. Then came a voice, smooth and commanding, cutting through the jeers. "Hold on. Don't throw him out yet." Every eye turned toward the young man in the black tuxedo. His hair slicked back, his smile a perfect mask, and his confidence unwavering. But what happened next would change everything. Stay tuned. He was famous in the city not just for his vast wealth, but for the way he flaunted it at every turn. And there it was at the heart of the showroom, his shining treasure. A red Ferrari, its paint so flawless it gleamed like a gem under the lights. The millionaire stepped forward, his finger pointing directly at the old man. "Ladies and gentlemen, looks like we've got our entertainment for the evening," he announced. The crowd erupted into laughter. Some applauded, eager for the show. The old man stood still, his grip tightening around the bag in his hands, his lips sealed. "Tell me," the millionaire sneered, "how did you even get in here? Did you wander in because of the smell of food? Or did you mistake this for a shelter?" More laughter followed. One man shouted, "Watch out. He might scratch the car with those rags." Another added, "Keep him away. He'll stain the Ferrari." The old man's gaze flickered toward the red car, not out of desire or envy, but something else entirely, something no one else saw. But the millionaire caught the look, and a cruel smile spread across his face. "Ah, you like it, don't you?" His voice grew louder, taunting. "Do you even know what this is? Do you know the name of this beauty?" The old man remained silent, his stillness mistaken for weakness. The crowd took it as such. "Of course he doesn't," the millionaire continued, circling the old man like a wolf. "He probably thinks it's just another taxi." A mocking laugh rippled through the crowd. "This poor guy's never even been inside one of these." A woman in a blue dress fanned herself, her smile full of satisfaction. "This is too cruel," she whispered, but her eyes stayed glued to the scene. And so did everyone else. They were hooked, captivated by his humiliation. But what they didn't know was that this wasn't the end. Something was about to shift, and it would leave them all stunned. "Stay with me." The old man's jaw tightened. Years of hunger, rejection, and cold nights on the streets had buried his pride deep. He had been ignored, humiliated, and cast aside, but never like this. Yet he stood firm, unmoving, not begging, not running. The millionaire stepped closer, a glint of mischief in his eyes. "Tell me, old man, how much do you think this car is worth?" he sneered. The old man muttered something barely audible. "What was that?" The millionaire barked, leaning in. "Speak up. You're in my world now. Don't mumble like some beggar." The old man's gaze lifted slightly, his voice rough but unwavering. "More than I'll ever have." "Correct," the millionaire announced, clapping theatrically. "More than you'll ever have. And yet, here you are, standing right next to it. Isn't that something? The crowd burst into laughter. One man mocked the old man's walk, drawing giggles from the women nearby. Another pulled out his phone, recording the spectacle. The air was thick with humiliation, yet the old man didn't move. Something, whether pride or sheer defiance, kept him standing. Then, drunk on the attention, the millionaire took it further. He raised his hands, gesturing to both the Ferrari and the old man. His grin grew wider, his voice booming under the chandelier. "If you can start this car, I'll give it to you." The old man didn't smile. He didn't laugh. He simply tightened his grip on the cloth bag, his eyes fixed on the car while the crowd waited for him to fail. Laughter echoed in the showroom, crystal glasses chimed, heels clicked on the marble floors, but all eyes remained on the old man, standing inches from the red Ferrari. What happened next? Stay tuned to find out. The millionaire's voice cut through the laughter. "Well, don't just stand there. Want the car? Start it up. Or are you too afraid?" The crowd egged him on, eager to see the old man fail. The old man didn't respond. His eyes flicked between the Ferrari and the millionaire, his expression unreadable. His silence only seemed to unsettle the host. Finally, with a grand gesture, the millionaire pulled the sleek black key fob from his pocket. He dangled it like a prize. "Here, let's make this interesting," he said, his grin oozing arrogance. "I'll even give you the key. But remember, this isn't some junkyard truck. You better know what you're doing or you'll make a fool of yourself." The crowd gasped, then burst into laughter. They were sure the old man would stumble, maybe even fail to start the car. Whispers of bets floated around. "He won't even find the button," one muttered. "He'll choke," another laughed. The old man stepped forward, his hands shaking, not from fear but from the weight of the moment. He took the key fob with care, almost reverently, and made his way to the driver's side. "Careful, old man," someone sneered. "That seat costs more than your life." Another mocked, "I hope he doesn't faint when the engine growls." The old man didn't flinch. He opened the door and slid into the leather seat. For a moment he closed his eyes, breathing in the fresh scent of leather, the hum of precision. He had known this world long ago. He placed the key fob down, adjusted the seat without thinking, checked the clutch and pressed the brake. His movements weren't guesses, they were instinct. The crowd murmured, uneasy. He looked too calm, too confident. "Come on, push the button," the millionaire shouted, impatient. The old man pressed the ignition. The Ferrari roared to life, its engine snarling like a wild animal. The sound filled the showroom, shaking the walls and silencing the laughter. The women froze, wide-eyed. The men who had bet against him stood stunned. Even the chandeliers seemed to tremble above them. For a few seconds the old man just sat there, hands steady on the wheel, listening to the engine's perfect rhythm. But there was something they hadn't seen coming. Stay tuned to find out. He switched off the engine, stepped out slowly and handed the key fob back to the millionaire. "You laughed at me for being nothing," the old man's voice rasped, cutting through the quiet room. "But I spent 30 years building engines that men richer than you couldn't even start without me. This car, your prized possession, it speaks my language. It responded to me tonight, not you." The millionaire's jaw tightened, his face losing its color. The cameras were still rolling. Guests held up their phones, capturing the moment. His confident grin was gone, replaced by an expression he couldn't mask, pure discomfort. The old man wasn't finished. "You mocked me for having nothing," he continued. "But look at this," he gestured to the Ferrari. "You hide behind things. Without them, what are you?" A ripple of discomfort swept through the crowd. The women in gowns no longer smiled. The men in tuxedos shifted uncomfortably. Shame had entered the party, and it was impossible to ignore. The millionaire opened his mouth, but no sound came. Everyone had witnessed his cruelty, mocking and challenging a man who had walked in from the streets. And they had just seen that same man, against all odds, rise higher than the one who owned it all. The old man didn't demand the car. He didn't gloat. He simply tightened his grip on his cloth bag, turned and started toward the door. "Keep it," he muttered. "It was never about the car. It was about respect. Something you lost tonight." With that, he stepped into the cold night, disappearing into the darkness. The room fell into silence. The Ferrari stood there, its engine a fading memory. No one was looking at the car anymore. They were all staring at the millionaire, his face burning, his pride shattered. For the first time in years, his wealth felt meaningless and regret gnawed at him. Not because he almost lost the car, but because he had lost something far more valuable. If you felt the power of this story, make sure to hit the thumbs up and subscribe for more surprising, emotional tales. And tell us in the comments, where are you watching from? We love hearing from you.